What is going on, faithful? It is your boy, Niners Sickness. With the Niners Sickness Report, we're going to have a great show today. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing great on this Tuesday afternoon. So let's get this party ready, started. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Niners Sickness. How's everybody doing today? We're going to have a great show. We're going to be talking a little bit of what Mr. Mike Florio has been talking about the San Francisco 49ers. This guy has the nerve to call the San Francisco 49ers a dysfunctional team. Can you believe this guy? He's calling the Niners a dysfunctional team. Unbelievable. Hold on, guys. Let's see here. What's up, big stinker? How you doing? Welcome to the show, brother. David Williams, welcome to the show. How you doing, brother? Young hitter, what's up? Good evening, brother. Dina Harvey, how you doing, Dina Harvey? Good to see you like always. Kathy, how's Kathy doing, my girl? How you doing, Kathy? Hope everything is well. Corey Davis, what's up, Corey Davis? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing great, having a good time. We're going to talk about what I've been reading about Mike Florio and his comments. This guy is bitter. This guy's a big Vikings fan, and he's bitter. He's bitter because his team lost to us in 2019 in the divisional playoffs, and he can't let it go. What's up, Roberto Hastings? What's up, brother? How you doing, bro? How you doing today? So he's been talking about the Niners being dysfunctional. He doesn't like the addition of Trey Lance. He thinks the Niners should have just went with someone else or kept Jimmy, which we do have Jimmy. So I don't understand where this guy comes from calling us dysfunctional when the Niners don't leak. They don't leak. The Niners keep everything within house. The Niners are always moving forward. Players want to play for the 49ers. Players don't want to leave anywhere else. They want to stay with this organization because of the culture that the Niners are developing in San Francisco. But yet, Mr. Florio says that we are dysfunctional. I'm doing much better than yesterday. Good to hear that, bro. Well, if your day was hard yesterday, difficult yesterday, man, my apologies. I'm glad you're doing much better today, bro. What's up, my Canadian brother from another mother? What's up, Tom? Welcome to the show. No, unfortunately, he's a Vikings fan. He is a big Vikings fan, and I really believe that he's still upset because the Niners took out their Vikings in the divisional playoffs in 2019. But it's okay. This dysfunctional team that he calls is going to give his Vikings another whipping this year. So I really don't know where he gets his cojones and talking about the 49ers. I mean, we drafted good. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are great for their organization. Jed York has stepped back and allowed John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to do their thing. They don't leak. Players don't backstab each other. Players are there for one another. They support one another. They love the locker room. They're really in love with the locker room. So a lot of the guys that we signed for a 1-year deal, all our secondary, pretty much all our secondary. The only one that was signed at the time was Jimmy Ward. Everyone else, K'Wan Williams, Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, Jaworski Tart were all free agents. And they all decided to come back for the 49ers for a 1-year deal. Why? Because it's a dysfunctional team. Why would, if this was such a dysfunctional team and those players were free agents, why would they come back to a dysfunctional team? The fact that they signed with your San Francisco 49ers for another year, and the only reason why they signed me for a year is because of this whole COVID-19 salary cap. Now that the salary cap went back up, if these players do good, like Jason Verrett does well, I can see him having a great contract with the Niners. Emmanuel Mosley. So they signed 1 year because of the money went down this year because of COVID salary cap. I see that, but my whole point is, if they didn't like this team because it was dysfunctional, I believe they would have left. Possibly. He can go cry us a river. Yep. I hear you, young hitter. That dude is jealous and delusional. The Vikings are probably dysfunctional. The nerve. Haters be hating. Absolutely, Dina. The nerves, man. Haters would be hating, and they are hating. Am I really? Because I'm watching myself. Anybody was? Yep. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Let me check this out. If I was, I apologize. How am I doing now? Am I good now? Am I good now, or am I still freezing? Okay, how am I doing now? Am I good now, or am I still buffering? Let me know. Am I still buffering, or am I good? Please comment. Okay. Okay. So Kathy, you're gonna be my helper today. Okay. Everybody's helpful, but Kathy, the minute that I freeze on your screen, let me know, please. I would appreciate that. I'm still working on some of the things on my end. Unfortunately, they don't offer fiber optics here in my area. They only offer cable, and it kind of sucks. But as soon as I get the fiber optics available in my area, boy, oh boy, am I going to take advantage of that. Unfortunately, Spectrum, which is my internet provider, does not offer fiber optics here in my area. They only offer cable, which cable is still better than DSL, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait for fiber optics to be available in my area. Okay, cool, cool. Now, did I freeze for a long time or for a little bit? Just curious. Okay, guys, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. So, um, I'm excited. The season is around the corner. We're not going to see really a lot of changes until um, late July when we start our training camp. So I expect a lot of things to begin to start happening. A lot of things to report on. Give me a second. A lot of things to be able to report on will be starting to pick up in late July. But I am going to have a special guest. I'm going to have a special guest on Thursday. If everything works out with him, he's a very, very busy guy. He's very popular on YouTube, and he's very knowledgeable of football. He knows his stuff. I invited him. He's going to be my guest on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if things don't change. Now, those are subject to change based on his schedule, but as of now, we're going to we're headed for a live show on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're available on Thursday, make sure you tune in to my channel on Thursday so you can hear from this awesome guest a couple of times. Now, when you say a couple of times, back then or a couple of times right now? Am I freezing right now a couple of times or was it back then? $15. Okay. And it only happened once or twice? And it's not happening no more? I gotta get this fixed, especially if I have my guest on. I don't want this to happen with my guest because that's not going to be good for my show. So I want to make sure my everything's working good for my show. But I appreciate you guys keeping me informed. I appreciate you guys keeping me informed. Truly, truly appreciate that. So make sure you tune in for Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to check out the guest that I have. Like I said, he's very informative. He's very knowledgeable of the 49ers. So he'll be fun to have. That's just my way. I'm going to start bringing guests here and there. My way of saying thank you to you, my viewers, and show my appreciation to you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay. Okay. Got you. Let me show you a little bit of my back of my jersey. Niner sickness, baby. That's the way my studio looks. I'm giving you guys a glimpse of my studio. This is what I'm looking at the camera. You got the surround sound audio board on my right side, your left. My laptop, my two monitors, my Apple box, and this is just my setup. Kind of give you a glance of my setup. There you go, a little glimpse of my setup. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, young hitter. So let me ask you guys. I'm gonna get you guys involved. What what do you guys want to see the most in training camp? What do you guys want to see the most in training camp? What do you guys want to see most in training camp? Which position are you more intrigued in watching? The right guard position, the running back position, the quarterback position? What position are you guys looking forward on seeing come training camp? Let me know. Thank you, young hitter. You guys are awesome. So, what I'm looking most forward to, I'm waiting for your, as I wait for your comments. I'm looking for the Aaron Banks from Notre Dame second round pick battle a lot with Daniel Brunskill at the right guard position. I want to see the battle that goes on in training camp at that position. I want to see if the veteran of Daniel Brunskill does better, or does the young kid out of Notre Dame come in and take possession of that right guard position. So I'm looking forward to see who wins the right guard position. I want to see some more interceptions with our cornerbacks and safeties. And you're welcome. Thank you, sir. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. According to D'Amico Ryans, we're going to put more pressure. Okay. We're going to be putting more pressure on the quarterback. We're going to be going after the quarterback even more than we did last year under Robert Saleh. So D'Amico Ryans wants a blitz. He's a blitz-heavy defensive coordinator. He's going to blitz. He's going to send safeties, linebackers towards the quarterback. That means quarterbacks are going to be pressured to get the ball out faster. And when they do that, they make mistakes. And who will capitalize on those mistakes? Will it be Emmanuel Mosley? Would it be Jason Verrett? Would it be Jimmy Ward? Would it be Jurowski Tart? Who is going to take advantages of those opportunities when we are putting so much pressure on the quarterback and they're going to make mistakes? And I agree with you, young hitter. I really believe the Niners secondary has a great opportunity to intercept a lot of the balls coming their way. So that'll be fun to watch during the season. David Williams says to be healthy. Yeah, that's a battle. That's a very honest, realistic camp battle, season battle. We got to remain healthy. We got to figure out. I know that injuries are unpredictable. Injuries happen, especially in football, because we are such a contact type of a sport. But with that said, not everybody's losing players around the league. Yes, players get hurt in different teams, but the most plagued teams with injuries, we are number 2 in the NFL. At number 1 is the Washington football team. The Washington football team has the most injuries. Then comes the San Francisco 49ers at number 2. That is a ranking that I don't want. That's a ranking that I don't want. I don't want a ranking of being number 2 for the most injured players. Something has to change, David. Something has to change. Hopefully, the strength and conditioning coaches get together. They make the proper adjustments, because even though we lost Justin School, a backup tackle, and we lost Moore, a backup safety, The fact is, we still lost them to season-ending injuries. And then with Jeff Wilson Jr., what was going on with him? Because for what I read, and we all read, was he sat down, and then when he went to get up from his chair, he heard something, and then he tore up his meniscus. So something must have been happening with him, whether either he did not report it to the Niners, or the Niners did not make it available to the media. Regardless, he is out 4 to 6 months. This is a concern, a legitimate concern for us as Niner fans, because we all know that injuries can quickly derail us from the season. Any expectations, any goals that we want to accomplish in the 2021 season can be derailed quickly with injuries at key positions. Now, the Niners are good of having backups that are good, servable backups that can come in and produce not as good as the starters, but equivalent to be able to sustain us winning games until our starters get back. But we can't afford to lose players for the season. A game here, 2 games there. Okay, we can bring in a backup to take care of business while that player is out. But when you lose the Nick Bosa's for the whole season, who really can replace him? Nobody. You know what I mean? When you lose Kittle for most of the games, that's tough. When you lose Jimmy G, when he arguably was your best quarterback last year on the roster, that is tough to work with. And I'll be honest with you, I am surprised that we won as many games as we won in 2021. That's a testament of not only the players playing their hearts out, but the coaching staff. Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, the running backs coach, the secondary coach, the offensive line, Chris Kosaric, all these coaches, they handle their business to the best of their ability, and they were able to produce wins. Again, to the point that I brought up this whole live, Mike Florio says that we are dysfunctional. How do you win as many games as we won last year with the amount of players that were out to injury? You tell me, if the Niners are dysfunctional, like Mike Florio said, how do you win all the games they won with all the amount of players that were injured? This is why Mike LaFlorio is a hater, and he has no facts to back up his statement. He has no facts. He is just stating his opinion. That's all it is. His opinion of the 49ers is not facts. So, Mike LaFlorio. Corey Davis says quarterback position. Okay, he wants to see the Jimmy G and Trey Lance battle. Now, I really believe Jimmy G is going to be the starter of this Niners start of the week 1. And Trey Lance will be there ready to go when his number's called. But if I'm going to look at a battle at the quarterback position, it's not necessarily going to be the Trey Lance and Jimmy G. I want to see Rosen battle it out with the kid that we brought over from Philly. I forgot his name. Softener. I'm butchered his name. Sorry, brother. But I want to see who wins the third quarterback. I'm curious to see the battle for the number 3 quarterback. It's going to be. Takes a year for a complete use of the knee. Yeah, it does, man. Even if you can come back healthy, but the good thing is, as long as Trey Sermon stays healthy, as long as Raheem Mostert stays healthy, and Elijah Mitchell stays healthy, and um, what's the undrafted rookie that we had last year? Jennings? No, not Jennings. Help me out, guys. The running back that we had last year, he got hurt last year. He was undrafted. He did pretty good, and then he got hurt. Um, can't think. Anyway, so we have four. Oh, and then we brought in the free agent from the Giants and Clemson Tiger kid and Wayne Gallman. Those guys are going to continue to develop and play well. So even though we lost Wilson, even if we lose him for the whole year, which I doubt, but even if we do, we have Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon, we have Wayne Gellman, we have Elijah Mitchell, and then we have the other kid that I can't think of his name, the undrafted free agent, the running back that we brought in last year. He played for us for a while. Number 38, shifting it running back, and he got hurt, so we didn't see too much of him. Can't think of his name. What's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you, man. I think they'll try Lance out when let's see. I think they'll try Lance out when we versus the team that has a starting rookie quarterback. Okay. We are running the division. I love it. I love the confidence. Warner and Greenlaw, strong side, left side. I like those two. I like the combination of we already know that Fred Warner is the best middle linebacker in the NFL. Not one of the best, the best. And this is not me being a homer. Fred Warner is the best middle linebacker in the NFL, even over that guy over there in Seattle. Now, Dre Greenlaw, he's starting to come up. He's a great hitter. He's a great sideline to sideline linebacker. I love his attitude. I love the way he plays. He's only going to get better, and I expect him to make a bigger jump this year than previous seasons. So expect a great year. Now, we got to keep our fingers crossed that no injuries occur to him. But if he stays healthy, I expect a great year out of Dre Greenlaw alongside of Mr. Fred Warner. And don't worry, Fred Warner will get extended. Trust me. He will get extended. The Niners know how valuable he is to the Niners defense. He's the anchor. He is the quarterback of the defense. There is no way in the world that the Niners are going to allow him to leave or ever test the free agency next year. They're just not. The Niners are very smart, and they're going to get it done. Remember, if you remember last offseason, right before we went into the 2020, we were in the same situation with George Kittle, right? We were in the same situation with George Kittle. We don't know if he was going to sign. We didn't want to lose him. We were like, oh my goodness, if we don't get him, if we don't get it extended, does he leave the following year, which would have been this year? And what did the Niners do? Right before the season started, they went ahead and extended George Kittle's contract. I expect the same format to take place for Fred Warner. So for those that love Fred Warner as I do, don't panic, don't worry. The Niners will get it done. Me and I wonder who is going to be our number three. Yeah, that we know that for now. Jimmy G's our QB1, Trey Lance our QB2, but who is going to be our QB3? Is it Rosen? Is it the kid that we brought in as free agency from Philly? Who is going to win that QB3? That'll be interesting to see. Bosa and Kinlaw gonna be great. With the addition of bringing back Bosa from injury, stating that there's no setbacks with Bosa, his presence, Bosa's presence alone, is going to elevate Mr. Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw's play will be better, especially since he's playing right next to Bosa. I expect Kinlaw to have a great season in 2021 with Bosa there. And Eric Armstead, we already know Eric Armstead, he's not your Nick Bosa type of player, but he's very serviceable. He's very good. And when we have Bosa doing his job, it makes the life easier for Eric Armstead. His game gets upgraded, and I expect to see a lot out of Eric Armstead in this season. And then we brought Kerr from Carolina. We brought in the kid Ikukom from the Rams. We're still waiting to see what we get from D Ford. Is D Ford going to be able to play at all this year? I don't expect D Ford to be an every down D lineman anymore. If we can get D Ford just to come in third and long, pin his ears back and go after the quarterback on third downs. If we can bring in D Ford just on third downs and have him just go after the quarterback, that within itself would be great. I don't have my expectations for D Ford are not great. If he can just produce on third downs, that'll be great. Now, if he's able to do more, hey, the more the merrier, right? But if he can only bring production on third downs, I'm okay with that. I really like this kid that we brought from the Rams, Ikukom. Let's see what he does under Chris Kasarik. He's kind of when I say he's like D Ford, not in the D Ford plane, but body wise. Okay, he's fast like D Ford. Let's see if this kid can produce pressure after quarterbacks. Can he maintain that pressure against the quarterbacks? Can he be productive game after game, game after game? We have to wait and see. But I do like the ceiling on this kid. The floor is low, but the ceiling is high. Let's see if he can show the Niners that he was worthy of being brought in as a free agent. Agreed. Thank you. Florio been hating on us. Can't stand him. I can't either. Him and Chris Sims. I know Chris Sims says he's Kyle Shanahan's friend, and I know he is. But even Chris Sims doesn't hate on the Niners as much as Florio does. Florio, that guy. That's why the social media out there, you can't really pay attention to because they have a lot of their own agendas. They're going to impose a lot of their own ways. So the reality is, man, that he has no facts. He has no facts. He's just speculating. He's just bringing his opinion, and his opinion doesn't matter because if you look at the 49ers organization, if you look at what Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch has done during their time here, yes, I understand we only had a one winning season. I am not blind. I'm not naive. I know that we only had one winning season. But you got to take these into context. First year, that the Niners hired Shanahan and John Lynch. For one, they had to work together. First time John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan working together. Second, they took over a bad roster. A lot of people like to make the comparison of Kyle Shanahan and what's his name? Sean McVay with the Rams. Sean McVay, since he got to the Rams, he's taking the Rams to the playoffs every year. Okay. But Sean McVay took over a very good roster. Kyle Shanahan took over a bad roster. So bad that only two players were on that team after they redid the whole and rebuilt the whole defense, offense, and special teams. That was Joe Staley and that was Garrett, the tight end that retired now. Everybody was new. And we didn't have a quarterback. Sean McVay, they drafted Goff. We had Brian Hoyer. So Kyle Shanahan took over a really bad roster, had to tear it down and rebuild it. Rome wasn't built in a day. And then we dealt with some injuries, and then we got Jimmy. Then Jimmy got hurt. And then we got Bosa. A lot of things were happening. And then the year that the Niners were healthy, the 1 year the Niners were completely healthy, what did Kyle Shanahan do? Oh, he just took us to the Super Bowl. We just went to the Super Bowl, and we were this close of winning it. Now, did he make some mistakes in coaching? Yes. Was there some mistakes defensively? Yes. A lot of people want to blame Jimmy G for the loss of the Super Bowl. Give me a break. Could have Jimmy G done better? Yes. But was Jimmy G the reason why we lost the Super Bowl? Heck no. Our defense gave up that big, ugly play to that receiver they have over there in Kansas City. Remember that 50-yard bomb? That killed us. The referees were calling. I understand you don't want to blame the referees. But the referees were making bad calls against the Niners. There was holding against our pass rushers that was not called. So, you guys are entitled to your opinion, and I respect it. But to say that it was Jimmy G's fault why we lost the Super Bowl is ridiculous. Could we won it if he would have made that play to Emmanuel Sanders? Probably. But we should have never been in that predicament in the first place. Sherman got burnt. As good as Sherman was and is, he got burnt on that big play to Hill. So, a lot of factors took place in that Super Bowl, but the whole point that I was trying to make was we got to the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, in that 1 year that we were healthy. So I believe in Kyle Shanahan. I believe in John Lynch. I believe in this organization. I believe that we're going to do great things. Like David said earlier, we got to win the battle against the injuries. We got to win the battle against injuries. If we can win that battle, if we can sustain ourselves by not getting injured, and when I'm talking about injuries, I'm not talking about that injury that takes you off one game or two games. I'm talking about the ACLs, the meniscus injuries. I'm talking about injuries that take you off for the season. Those are the injuries that we need to avoid. We need to avoid those type of injuries. They need to figure out what they need to do to keep these players more stretching, maybe yoga, whatever it takes. They gotta make sure that they do something to keep these players healthy, because we know with a healthy roster and Jimmy G, I know we all want to see Trey Lance play. Trey Lance is the new toy on the shelf. He's the new toy. And when you get a new toy, you want to play with it, right? But the reality is, Jimmy G is still very good quarterback that can win us a lot of games. We just got to stay healthy. I believe in Jimmy. I trust Jimmy. And rest assured, at least we know for a fact that we have Trey Lance sitting there on the deck waiting to come in. We don't have to rely on Nick Mullins. We don't have to rely on CJ Beathard. God forbid, if anything happens to Jimmy G, we know that we can give the ball over to Trey Lance and he'll take over. But I want Trey Lance to learn, observe as much information he possibly can before he is thrown out there. This is why it's so important for Jimmy to stay healthy. This is why it's so important for Jimmy to play good, because this will allow the 49ers to develop Trey Lance the right way. Sometimes we have to be careful what we wish for. Let's allow Trey Lance to develop the right way. Let him learn, and then eventually we will bring him in if anything happens to Jimmy, or if Jimmy starts stinking it up towards the middle of the season, then let's bring in Trey. But if Jimmy's playing good football and Jimmy's available, just because we have a new toy, and just because a lot of Niner fans are tired of Jimmy, because they know that Jimmy is always getting hurt, you gotta be realistic. All right, Corey. Good night, sir. Enjoy riding your bike and keep up that exercise, brother. I am so proud of you, Corey. You're awesome. I just want healthy players and a strong offense and a strong secondary. We have the roster, Dina. We have the roster. We are stacked. Our worst enemy are not the players, they're not the teams that we face this year. Our worst enemy is the injury bug. If we can kick that injury bug right in the face and overcome injuries, how far the Niners can go is there. The possibility of making it to the playoffs, and then once you're in the playoffs, the possibility of making it to the Super Bowl are there. But you got to stay healthy. You got to be. I don't want to go into the playoffs limp. I don't want to be limping into the playoffs. I hate when a team goes into the playoffs and they're lost half of their players and they're going in there in one leg. because as soon as they play them, whoever they play in the playoffs, they're one and done. I hate being one and done. I do. I'd rather not make the playoffs than go into the playoffs limping and be one and done. You might say, well, Niner sickness, anything can happen. Anything can happen once you're... Yes, you're right. But I'd rather go into the playoffs being strong than limping on one leg. Kyle doesn't like Florio either. He's mentioned his bull crap at few... Yeah. Yes, sir. And by the way, the Recovery 716, welcome to the Niner Sickness Podcast Report. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you for joining my show. I agree. Kyle doesn't like him either. He doesn't like him. Just doesn't like him. And who does? Florio is so negative, man. He's just so negative. Kyle is Sean McVay's daddy. Hey, say what people can say whatever they want. The Niners and Kyle Shanahan has beaten Sean McVay the last 4 times. So say what you want. People, not you guys, but people can say what they want. Even Kyle, with half of the roster on IR, injured, playing with a backup quarterback like Nick Mullins, terrible Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, and yet we beat the Rams twice last year and the year before that. So to the Recovery 716 point, damn straight, Kyle Shanahan is Sean McVay's daddy. Yes, they did made bad calls. Yeah, they did. They sure did. To that Super Bowl reference, yes. Thank you, sir. Okay, Corey said he was leaving. The backup quarterback are good this year. Yes. Well, that's an area, honestly, that the Niners really wanted to enhance. Kyle Shanahan knew last year, once Jimmy went down, he really couldn't depend on Nick Mullins. He couldn't depend on Nick Mullins, and therefore, we lost a lot of games. So, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch did not want to be in that predicament again. And the reality is, even though Jimmy G is good when he's available, unfortunately, you can't really count on Jimmy G for a full season because he does get injured. So what did Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch do? They traded. Sorry for my birds in the background. I haven't let them out all day today, so they're mad. They traded 2 number 1s and a 3rd to move from 12 to 3 to go ahead and get a quarterback because they knew they could not go another season with the chances of losing Jimmy G to injury and having to go back to Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard. This is why they went ahead and moved up from 12 to 3, gave up all that capital to go get Trey Lance. So now, last year, our quarterback room was weak. This year, our quarterback room is strong. That's the way you want it. Our running back room is strong. Our offensive line room is strong. Our receivers are strong. Now, we still have to wait to see what happens at the WR3, receiver number 3, who's going to be. That's another battle that I want to see in training camp. Come training camp is let's see who fights for that number 3. I'm hoping that this will be the year that Jalen Hurd is able to participate in training camp, that he will be able to play for your San Francisco 49ers. I am anxious to see Jalen Hurd. I love him as a running back at Tennessee. I loved him when he transferred to receiver and went to Baylor. I love Jalen Hurd. Unfortunately, we have not seen him play in 2 years. Is this the year that he can stay healthy? Because if he's healthy, personally myself, based on what I've seen in college, I don't see anybody beating him out at number 3. Imagine what Kyle Shanahan can do with Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd with all the misdirections, the RPOs, and the run game. Oh my God. Defenses are going to suffer when they play against our offense. But let's keep our fingers crossed that he's able to play. What's up, Jay? How you doing, brother? Welcome to my show. Welcome. Why is Mike Florio saying we are a dysfunctional team? He needs to go back to the NFL. I'm telling you, he is just a hater, Jay. Mike Florio is just a hater. He hates the 49ers. He hates Kyle Shanahan. And the guy is spitting out nothing but stupidity. There's no facts backing him up. There's no data that can back up his statement. How in the world are the Niners dysfunctional? Now, if he would have said that we're plagued with injuries, yes, that's facts. But how can you say that we are dysfunctional when we won as many games as we won last year with half of our roster injured? We had Jason Verrett, K1 Williams. We had Emmanuel Mosley and Jaworski Tart, free agents. They were free agents, weren't they? If this team was such dysfunctional, they would have never signed a 1-year contract. They would have left. All those secondary guys would have left. The fact that they came back to the Niners organization and signed a 1-year deal, even though we lost Robert Saleh and we promoted DeMeco Ryans, they still came back, signed a 1-year deal. And many people may say, wow, why did they sign a 1-year deal then? Well, they signed a 1-year deal because we all know that the money went down because of COVID in 2020. Now that the money went back up for 2021, expect these guys to sign longer terms if they are effective this year. If Jason Verrett stays healthy for another year, and now he's consistent, because if he stays healthy this year, he was healthy last year, that is 2 years of being healthy. That is good enough to pay him some money. So I expect him to get paid next offseason if he can remain healthy and he is productive, especially since he's sporting that number 2. Listen, that number 2 looks good on on Jason Verrett. What's up, CJ Ruthless Sport? Welcome, brother. Welcome to the show. So, we are not dysfunctional. Mike Florio is full of hot air. We are a team that the players want to play for. We are a team that the players want to play for. Players respect one another. They don't talk about one another. We are a team that I think what pissed off Mike Florio is the fact that we did not let nobody know who we were going to draft at number 3. And all the clowns like Mike Florio were saying that we were going to draft Mac Jones. Felt stupid. All those people that said, oh, the Niners are taking Mac Jones from Alabama. That is the kind of quarterback that Kyle Shanahan likes. All these talking heads felt stupid when the Niners drafted Trey Lance. And sometimes these people's egos get hurt. And when their egos get hurt, they don't know how to act. And they act stupid. So, I think, personally, Mike Florio is upset and embarrassed, and he's lashing out. These players want to come back to our team because our team is so scary for any defense. It's the unity in the locker room. It's the family-based locker room. It's the integrity. The no-nonsense environment that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch bring. Players buy into Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch because what you can say a lot of things about the Niners. You can say whatever you want about the 49ers. But the Niners are honest with their players. They're not the Packers. What they did to Aaron Rodgers, whether you like him or not, whether you like the Packers or hate them, what they did to Aaron Rodgers was wrong. They went behind his back and drafted a quarterback. When we drafted Trey Lance, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan had already spoken with Jimmy G and told Jimmy G, as much as we love you, we want to have you here. You know that you can't guarantee us that you can stay healthy. We need reassurance with someone. But they went and spoke to Jimmy. There is integrity in the San Francisco organization with the players. And players love that. They may not like additions to a different position. They may not like if their position is taken away from them. But honesty is the best policy. The Niners have always been truthful with their players. And players can respect that. They may not like the changes, but they can respect the honesty. And you can't say that about other teams. So for Mike Florio to call this team a dysfunctional team, it is absurd. Chris Sims and Mike, so mad we not draft Mac Jones. Yep. Mike so upset he's crying like a 4-year-old. Well, Mac Jones is another crybaby. What did he say? Deep down inside, I really wanted to go to the Patriots. Remember Mac Jones said that? Deep down inside of me, I really wanted to go to the Patriots. Dude, shut up. You would have went to the Niners and the Niners drafted you 3rd overall. Shut the heck up. You're going to the Patriots. What else are you gonna say? I don't want to go to the Patriots. But to say that was the team you really wanted to go to all this time, shut the front door. Yeah. We are not a dysfunction. We are many things, but dysfunctional is not one of them. So, Mike LaFlorio, kiss our red candy apple butt. You are just mad that your Vikings are not as. If you want to talk about a dysfunctional team, look in your own backyard with Kirk Cousins and all those players. So get out of here talking about the Niners. Mac Jones wanted to go to the Pats. No one cares. I hear you. Bro. As long as he didn't come to the Niners, everything else is irrelevant. We're just a little crazy in the membrane. Oh, I like that song. Yep. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that's my show. That is an hour. That is my show for today. I appreciate all you guys for joining me. Thank you for being part of the Niner Sickness Report. I appreciate it. Remember, tune in on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as I will bring on a special guest. I will have a special guest on my show. He is known all over YouTube, and he'll be a special guest on my show on Thursday. As long as things doesn't change with him, if he lets me know that something changes with him, then I'm going to have to redo my show for another day. But if everything goes well, Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be having a special guest. Until then, have a wonderful rest of the day. Be blessed, stay humbled, and continue to support and love the red and gold. Peace. I'm out.